been a long time coming. But tonight, because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come to America. It's been a long time coming. But tonight, because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come to America.
And people sucked it in like a new lollipop. I remember this day. I remember that night right here in Chicago. November 4th, 2008. America had never seen or accepted a multi-race, yet couched, articulate, handsome political figure such as Barack Obama. I might add, I might interject, accept it again. There have been blacks out there, but the way that Barack Obama came across, arguably, we're talking about someone who had this professor type quality of intelligence, good looks. We know with the racial component, he had a white mom, a dad yet foreign, just as dark as me. I could go on and on about why Barack Obama was accepted, why the arms of America embraced him, especially those of color. Let me digress for a minute. Welcome, new subscribers. My name is Franchise Pearson. I want to talk about the distinguishable qualities, if you will, between Barack Obama and Trump, and how the sale, since both of them have emerged upon the world scene, and how now you see a heavyweight psychological battle, if you will, between that which was and that which is and that which could come again. Arguably, who you're looking at could be America's and the world's second coming. And it's very, 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 very possible that this man could emerge and catapult not only back into the White House, but on the world stage. He's got the type of quality where the world will embrace him. Now, I'm going to present this argument, and I will not hit everything. It's going to be impossible to hit everything. And I'm not going to be 100% or 90% or 80% accurate in the things that I choose. So you're welcome to put in the comment section what distinguishes them and in relation to the time, if you had to choose right now, Obama versus Trump, who would you side with and why? Remember, it's about the direction of America in relation to the times. When I saw this video this morning, which is now 7 hours old, and I heard this statement that I'm going to play with you, this made me think and it gave me pause. Listen.
Is starting to grapple with. Donald Trump has replaced him as the most consequential politician of the 21st century.
Yes.
And I don't think he's really come to grips with that yet, Jesse. From the moment that Trump came down that escalator in 2015, all the way through this term, he's going to dominate the first quarter century of this era, of this 100 years. And I think Obama thought he was going to be the star of the 21st century. And instead, Trump is, and I think it bothers him. I think he cares a great deal about his legacy.
Right, and his legacy is in tatters, and now his legacy is getting cleaned up in the Middle East again. All right, Clay Travis.
Right.
What do you think? Look. Let's go there.
Well, I just had the opportunity to have an excellent conversation with President-elect Trump. It was wide-ranging. We talked about some of the organizational issues in setting up a White House. We talked about foreign policy. We talked about domestic policy. And as I said last night, my number one priority in the coming 2 months is to try to facilitate a transition that ensures our president-elect is successful. I have been very encouraged by the, I think, interest in President-elect Trump's wanting to work with my team around many of the issues that this great country faces. And I believe that it is important for all of us, regardless of party and regardless of political preferences, to now come together, work together, to deal with the many challenges that we face. And
who wouldn't want to reconsider? Just looking at this piece right here. Again, professorial, intelligent, good-looking, well-mannered, words, guarded, the whole 9 yards. Leadership, and an admirable transition and cooperation of power. Yet we have someone from the business world that red, white, and blue is speak, don't it? Yeah.
there is a vicious rumor floating around that I think could really hurt Mitt Romney. I heard he passed universal health care when he was governor of Massachusetts. Someone should get to the bottom of that. And I know just the guy to do it. Donald Trump is here tonight. Now, I know that he's taken some flack lately, but no one is happier, no one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing? What really happened in Roswell? And where are Biggie and Tupac?
So he roasted the Donald, and 45 days later, Donald decided to run for president. You guys know how I feel, right? You know that both of them, they're really chummy working together. But I want to ask this question. Right now, in this climate, Who do you think America is going to roll with and would love to roll with in the times? Because think about it. We're less than 6 months from Biden administration. So we're still feeling the ripple effect of the 4 years of Biden, which was done on purpose, which creates a desire to have new leadership like Trump. You get it?
President Obama, and if he wanted help, I'd give him help because I'm a really good builder and I build on time, on budget. He's building his library in Chicago. It's a disaster. And he said something to the effect, I only want DEI, I only want woke. He wants woke people to build it. Well, he got woke people and they have massive cost overruns. The job is stopped. I don't know, it's a disaster. And I don't like that happening because I think it's bad for the presidency that a thing like that should happen. He's got a library that's a disaster. And he wanted to be very politically correct, and he didn't use good, hard, tough, mean construction workers that I love, Mark.
Trump's a builder. Is that a quality? And I drove past it about a month ago because I reside here in Chicago. And the south area, getting off Lakeshore Drive, is the library. It is a disaster. It's been, what, over 2+ years in the making? Still isn't done yet? Man. And this was the sale. This is the introduction of the Trump.
So to every parent who dreams for their child, and every child who dreams for their future, I say these words to you tonight. I am with you, I will fight for you, and I will win for you. To all Americans tonight, in all of our cities and in all of our towns, I make this promise. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. God bless you and good night. I love you. We will make America great again. God.
That's the icing on the cake. When you can dress the part, look the part, act the part, and come in at a time when things are dying. Now here's my spiel. I've got 10 notables, so to speak, to distinguish between these two gentlemen. Family. I've got to be careful how I present this. You're looking at a man who came off as family. Yes, he's had the issue. I touch a woman in this particular part on the bus, you know, the little video that came out years ago. Got a history of being allegedly flamboyant and too loose with the women. But America, they can accept that because the other priorities prioritized over the sex. And a lot of Americans were used to throwing darts at a politician based on sex. If you remember Gary Hart, presidential candidate Gary Hart stopped his campaign due to sex allegations. He was widely viewed as the front runner until reports surfaced of an extramarital affair, and Hart withdrew from the race in May 1987. He entered the race in December 1987, but withdrew from the race again after fairly poorly in the early primaries. Remember, they had him on a boat with this girl here while he was married. The scandal. And he resigned. National Enquirer. America was used to that. And America's like, look, we've been through that. My pocketbook is more important. The direction of this country is more important. This man campaigned on family. Let's just call it the Genesis in the garden, Adam and Eve raise a child in the direction you should go. This was his approach. What about economy? Arguably, when you compare not only family to Obama, but economy, I think hands down, a better economy. See, it's one thing to sell based on feel. See, Obama make you feel. This imagery, you feel. This symbolism. You know, Obama had a certain type and has a certain type of flair. He can enunciate words a certain way, the inflections in his voice. It gives you this Baptist, black feel. You feel what I'm saying? So now your subconscious connects to the Dr. King and the struggle. And when I say the struggle, beyond black struggle, just a struggle. This is the image that he was projecting, in my humble opinion. But the economy. Who embraced the military better? Hands down, I would say, perception-wise, Trump. Trump was birthed in America. I had to go there. To me, it makes a whole hell of a lot of difference. Obama, even though they say birthed in America, you got to remember, no matter how you want to look at this thing, people still look at race. And I'm not saying that's a good or a bad, but people are looking at race. And I'm going to get back into that because when we talk about race and history, Obama's never built anything, to my knowledge. Trump has built something. So I fooled you when I said the word race. Race, when you say it, most people think color. I don't think just color. I've done videos on this before. America is competitive. The world is competitive. You're running a race. Of course, you're running a race, and a part of you is a culture and a color connection. But as you run this race in a capitalistic society, who in the hell you gonna want to run the race with? Obama or Trump? I had to go there this morning. And you wonder why a lot of blacks went with Trump? Come on, man. You can only dream for so long. You can only do this, the accent of a Dr. King. Look, I'm showing you the distinguishable difference, I think. Trump owned businesses, and even though he had bankruptcies, Americans can relate to that. It's a Rocky Balboa. Fall down, get back up. Adrian, I love you. Look, I gotta go there. Trump is no nonsense. You know he got a mouth on him. Obama is philosophical. America has almost OD'd on philosophies. You feel me? America has almost OD'd, and we're sick of rhetoric. People ain't feeling the Dr. King no more. And don't get it twisted. I'm not saying Dr. King was a great man. You guys know I did videos on my last channel, and I said economically, he made a grave mistake. Even he admitted to me before he died. I think the quote was, he placed us into a living hell. When you integrate, you dilute what you had. If you've got lawyers, professors, policemen, fire department, people like that who are making decent money in the black community, and then you integrate, and then you have the social aspect where the social engineers drop drugs and weapons in these minority, specifically black neighborhoods. The people who are well-means, school teachers, firemen, police officers, all black, they're going to leave the black community. So they're going to integrate in the suburbs or other communities, particularly white communities, and it left a vacuum in the black community. And I believe that Dr. King at the end said, oh my God, what have I done? That's what I mean by people are tired of philosophy. Dr. King's economic policies did not work. Anybody would tell you, you build a community and you build it and you build it and you build it and you make it strong. And in a few generations, what happens? You begin to see the fruits of it. But well-meaning blacks, a lot of them, and because of violence and drugs, look, my mama moved me and my brother out of the black community in my teenage years after my house got broken into, I think the third time. Philosophies weren't working. Stability works. How to make the government work for your community. Don't run, build. A distinguishable difference. I'm just going there. You got to look history before you look future. Trump had Miss America pageant. He was on TV. Look, Trump rolled with all the Hollywood people back in the day. Again, he had his own program, Miss America. Trump was universal. He knew all the Hollywood stars. He even donated to Jesse Jackson and Clinton's campaign. So he was already in the circle. Obama wasn't. He was new breed. There's your difference. Trump rose at a time where the average person became delusional about America and the direction she was going with politics, and they wanted a non-politician. Trump was a non-politician. Hadn't even served as alderman. There's your distinguishable difference. People wanted a change. This man promised hope and change. Image-wise, he was presenting the change. Do you understand? And last, people want a guy who had a history of building things. Look at how many towers and resorts Trump has built. Obama only got a library, and questionably it has failed. Obama comes off as a Dr. King. Trump comes off as the legendary JFK. And believe it or not, I ain't gonna take no crap Muhammad Ali mouth. Tell me what you think. I could go an hour plus on this thing, but I had to concise it. Who would you roll with in this time? And what distinguishes one from another? I'm Franchise Pearson. Have a great day.